Hello everyone, today is another video about my empties, and this is seasonal empties for the spring season just passed. Empties I find is a fantastic way for me to review a variety of products that I've been faithful enough to, that I've used them up completely or near completion, and I'm now able to report back my final thoughts about these particular products before they hit the bin. At the end of the year, you will see a little synopsis of what I've used up in a year, and every 6 months I do that update. So you get a video of my makeup use up about twice a year, plus the project pan stuff. Today also uniquely, I'm including not only the makeup, but also the perfumes that I've used up in the last season. Normally, I am an avid fragrance user. I don't use a lot of fragrance at work, but at home I go nuts. It's my house, and I want to smell like I want to smell at home. I use small amounts of fragrances normally for the office. Very, very personal, arm's length, no more than that sort of scenting is what happens, and I avoid wearing anything heavy or something that projects very far. So let's start with the makeup. Quite a good crop of things across the board. We have a Nude by Nature Perfecting Primer that I finished up, and that was a nice moisturizing primer, very much akin to the one from Too Faced, Prime RX I think it's called. It's nice, it's moisturizing, it smells okay. I didn't think it was anything particularly special, so I wouldn't be buying it. However, if they could put a good SPF that wouldn't be leaving traces or white cast behind into this formula, I would repurchase it. There's no SPF, so no repurchase from me. Two foundations. This one is about 1/3 used up, but I think it's expired, so I've gotten enough use out of it that I can talk about it, and also obviously I'm not passing it on to anyone because it's past its expiration date and needs to be decluttered. This is Estee Lauder Doublewear Stay in Place Makeup in the color 1 and 2. Écru is the color. So I really enjoy having this foundation, but this is a special occasion foundation for me because it's quite long wearing, especially on my dry skin, which I need to prep to wear this. I think this double wear foundation would work best on combination skin because it is quite versatile. It sticks around, it wears really well. You can build it from medium to full coverage. So very good for most people. That's why I think it's so popular, because I think for most people it is what they're looking for. You want good coverage, you want something a little bit smoothing, and you want something that sticks around. For me, this is far too much coverage. I would never go through a bottle of this, and I've been using it really for special occasions, for like a ball and some cocktail parties and stuff like that. So, and photo shoots, not anything day to day, which is why I think this is probably not worth for me to purchase this type of a foundation in the future, because I tend to like light coverage or even sheer coverage, and then I add my own little concealer, spot conceal wherever I need to, and not really bother with a full coverage foundation. So I think this is probably great for a lot of people for a lot of things, but for me it wasn't a foundation that I should be buying. This was a really good foundation as well, but I've come to the conclusion that also I would need to cut it with moisturizer or apply very, very tiny amounts. And this is Laura Mercier Silk Cream Oil-Free Photo Edition Foundation. This, much like the Estee Lauder, it sits on skin very well, blends in very nicely, it lasts. It probably will work on a variety of skin types as well because it is oil-free. And it just was a lovely foundation to wear, and I completely used up my little bottle. My color was rose ivory. It was a very good color match for me, which is why I purchased it, because it's hard for me to find the exact precise color match for my skin tone because I'm neutral to cool. So that little bit of coolness, usually foundations go quite yellow, and I know many makeup artists really like going yellow because it neutralizes and sort of evens things out. I don't have a lot of things to cover. I would prefer for my foundation to match me exactly, so it's not usually yellow based. If I'm looking for a precise match, this is sort of neutral, very neutral to maybe a touch of pink, which is exactly what my skin tone dictates. So excellent foundation. I would recommend it. Again, this is medium to full coverage, so for me, it's not worth purchasing another one. I think I'm much better with sheerer formulas plus concealer, or just concealer. It depends on the day. Speaking of concealer, benifit Boiing Hydrating Concealer is what I've used up. It was a mini. It went really, really fast. It has a pigment core and a hydrating rim. I thought it was a nice product, very hydrating. So would not work for anybody with very oily skin, and would probably just work under the eyes mostly, which is, I think, probably what they were going for with this product. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was particularly great. I think it's fine. I would not repurchase this. 2 powders. This powder I've already purchased in full size, and this is Youngblood, so clean. High def powder translucent. And I use this for travel. It's a really, really nice, beautiful, super finely milled, very clean, translucent powder. And like I said, I've already have the full size of this. So there you go. Another powder I used up was a huge feat, and I spent, I think, 2 years using this gosh darn powder, and it's Meteorites Perles de Paradis. And there's 53 grams of product in here. It was slightly lavender toned, very, very pretty. I mean, I am very proud of my achievement. I've used up the entire Meteorites, and in the giant size. This is the biggest bottle that the biggest box, I guess, that I have. I am going to continue using Meteorites powders, and I have a ton of them to go through. So in no near future am I purchasing anymore at this point. I need to slow down with the powders. I have dry skin. Powders are not necessarily my friend. Another product that I've not finished up completely is Chubby Stick Sculpting Contour in 01 Curvy Contour. And I've used up like 75% of the product. I have a little bit left, this little nubbin. I've included in Project Pan and subsequently decluttered it from my Project Pan and from my collection, and I'm not going to pass it on because it's out of date, most likely. And unfortunately created irritation on my skin. I started noticing some breakouts along my cheekbones or under my cheekbones where I would apply this. So for me, obviously not worth it. If it's irritating me, I'm going to get rid of it. Decent color, good texture, good wear time. I think just out of date. So it needed to move on out of my collection. And then a couple of highlighters, and this is staggering, but there's not much product in here. To be fair, it's only 5 grams a pot. These are Physicians Formula Butter highlighters, and I have them in 2 colors, and I've already repurchased both of these colors. These are the colors that work really well for my skin. And I've depotted them into a different container, which I like much better because there's a very small amount of product, but the packaging is really bulky, as it tends to be with Physicians Formula, and I don't like the whole tropical theme that they have going on, so I just depotted them, the actual product of the new highlighters, into a different container. I'll show you sometime what that looks like, and right now I'm using it a lot. So the colors that I have here is pink, rosé, and this was, I mean, nothing to see because I really scraped it all out completely. That was a rosy, like English rose kind of toned, shimmery highlighter, but for my fair skin tone, I really used it as a blush, and it was a beautiful color for me, for my complexion, so I repurchased this. And then the true highlighter with a white undertone with a very, very subtle pinky shift is Pearl, so more butter highlighters, right? And that was a huge hit for me. I really, really like it. It's a cream to powder sort of idea, and it's just, these guys work very nicely for me. I enjoyed them tremendously, so I'm definitely going to continue repurchasing unless I find something cheaper and better. The last cheek product I wanted to mention is this Nudestix matte lip and cheek crayon. And I loved wearing it on cheeks and on my lids, not so much on my lips. It was matte, so I'm not a big fan of matte textures normally, except for by Beauty matte crayons. Those I like. This was really, really easy and comfortable. The color was beautiful. The color is Belle. I have 2 more in my collection. I'm definitely going to be using them, so this definitely gets a thumbs up. Then Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the color Amethyst is some of the best cream shadows available. This was a dirty taupey purple, which is my kind of color for sure. I love the dirty, undetermined colors, and it's shimmery. The shimmer is a very, very delicate micro shimmer, and it's beautiful. It wears fairly well for a cream shadow. I was very, very happy with this, and I have a couple more to go through. They're impressive shadow sticks. I do think that next I'll be trying by Terry ones, because I think those are very, very beautiful as well. And I've swatched some, but I've never actually done a full long wear test, so we'll see how they stack up to the Laura Mercier. Then we have another Benefit product. This is Benefit Gimme Brow in the color 1. So here I'm just having one of these little sample size, travel sized Gimme Brows, and the color was good for me. It has fibers in it. I mean, those gel fiber combo, these things are right now pretty well available in the market. So, I mean, it's nice, but I wouldn't repurchase, I don't think. There are many more to try, probably at much better prices. I only finished one mascara, but it's dual-ended, so it's kind of lasted longer than mascara normally would for me. The mascara is called Physicians Formula Lash Mixologist, and I did not like it. The length side didn't really do much in terms of lengthening. The volume side didn't do a whole lot in terms of volumizing. I was disappointed. I tried wearing them separately, each side by itself. I tried combining them together and layering them, and it was kind of an okay mascara. It worked fine. It wasn't crumbly or anything, but the effect was sort of minimal and very uninspired. I wouldn't repurchase this one again. In terms of lips, we have 4 products. First of all, Fresh Sugar lip treatment in the color Rosé. I've owned this in full size before, and I've gone through so many of these minis. I keep repurchasing them, so this is definitely a recommend, obviously, because this is a nice, thick, really nourishing lip treatment or lip conditioner. You can buy them tinted, you can buy them translucent or transparent. I think it's a fantastic product, and I've been buying these for years. I think they are doing a very good job with their formulation. In general, Fresh is one of my faves. I think they do a very good job with their formulations overall for their skincare and some of the minimal makeup that they do. Then I have a Makeup Forever lipstick from the Artist Rouge Cream line, and this is C211. This is one of those like neutral purples. So I enjoyed it during the transition from winter to spring, and a little bit through the spring. It's completely done. It was a decent lipstick. I liked the formula, but I don't feel compelled to go ahead and buy it. And a couple of lip products from Bite. Obviously, Bite Beauty, as I have told you, is probably my favorite lip product company. First off, we have Bite Beauty Line and Define Lip Primer, which is just a lip balm. A little bit waxier than a lip balm, so I did feel like it was prepping my lips for an application of lipstick, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. I enjoyed it. I used it completely, but I don't think it's essential enough to purchase or repurchase in this case. I have to say, any lip balm that isn't greasy is going to do the same thing as this, and you can probably get it for much cheaper than what Bite sells it for. This is one of my very favorite formulas from Bite, and this is Matte Cream Lip Crayon. This was a red that I was wearing for a while. The color is Marciano, yeah, like the cherries. And it's a nice bright red, and I've worn it a lot, but I ran completely out of it. I really enjoy it. I recommend this entire line. Just go swatch them and find the color that works for you, and you'll be happy with the formula. I'm convinced, unless you love a very matte, very long wearing lip. This wears like a nice cream moisturizing lipstick, but looks more matte than that. So it's not like super velvet, super dry matte. If you like that, then go get yourself a liquid lipstick of some sort. This is a comfortable matte formula. It is not transfer proof. It is not super long wearing. It wears fairly long, but not like an entire day. You'll have to reapply every few hours. But really good formula, I think super worthwhile. And I like that they come in this crayon form, especially for brighter and darker colors. You can be fairly precise with the application, which bullets can sometimes not be great at. So out of all the stuff that I've shown you, I have repurchased the Youngblood powder, the Physicians Formula highlights, definitely. Then we have the nudestix, because I have other colors in my collection and I'm not decluttering them. They're good. The same can be said about the Laura Mercier caviar sticks. And I have repurchased multiple times the Fresh Sugar and the Bite lip crayons. None of these are really like shockers or a big deal, because most of these I've already spoken about and had raved about in the past. Let's move on to fragrance stuff. We have Vintage Bloom Body Lotion from Jessica Simpson. I've used this fragrance for many years. I've advertised it in a way, I guess. It's one of the fragrances in my budget options. I think it's fantastic. I really enjoy it. I have only very few fragrances that are from celebrity lines in my possession, and this is one of them. And it is lovely. It is sweet peony with citrus base, and I really like the scent. So if you like florals with a little bit of a citrus base, go give it a check out and sniff it and see what you think. Then a fragrance that I'm not going to be repurchasing. This is Fresh Sugar Eau de Parfum. This is a 30 ml. This is a nice, fresh, citrusy, slightly sweet fragrance. Very similar in spirit to Acqua di Gioia from Armani. I mean, they're not the same, but they are trying to convey the same feeling of very fresh, slightly sweet mojito sort of scent. And this is kind of what it is. I've enjoyed it and I've used it up, but I'm not going to repurchase them. I've moved on from it. I've also moved on from this one, and I've used it up because it was not objectionable but very boring. There is a review of it available, and I'm linking it down below, so go watch the dedicated review to this fragrance. This is my second bottle, which I inherited actually. The first one I purchased, the second one I inherited, and this is Mon Jasmin Noir by Bulgari. I feel like this fragrance is a bit boring, but very wearable. It's easy, it's non-objectionable. I finished it up, but I'm not going to repurchase. This one is an interesting find. This is Commodity Velvet Eau de Parfum, and Commodity is this sort of mix your own cocktail of scents line. I really like their minimalism. I like their layering suggestions. Velvet is a slightly woody, a bit of a velvety fireplace cottage scent. And when I smelled this, it immediately reminded me of this guy. This is Replica by the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. And I have to say, the vibe of this is super similar to the Commodity Velvet. I don't think you need both to that point. It's similar to that point. I don't think you need both, but I think Velvet is really quite lovely. The quality is there. It does migrate. It's a little bit softer than the By the Fireplace. By the Fireplace is a very authentic, true to its claim kind of scent. Velvet is a little bit more of a perfume, but they do convey the exact same thing. If you think By the Fireplace is a bit much for you, try the Velvet. And it's a lovely, delightful little find. I will be reviewing a full line probably. Or not a full line, but a fuller rather line for Commodity. I have quite a few samples to talk about, but not today. Then I have Ayala L'Oreal Perfumes Viola. I think this is interesting. It did not work for me though. Unfortunately, it did not sit well on my skin. There's a little bit of something medicinal in this scent as well, which is interesting, but again, did not sit quite well with me. This one I own in a full size. This is number 5 Le by Chanel, their latest release. This is easy peasy, not my favorite Chanel. I don't think it's particularly amazing. Chergui is an old friend of a fragrance, meaning that I've used it for years and I've owned a full bottle of it in the past. It's an Arabic, dense perfume journey. I'll talk about it in the future. I might repurchase it even. And finally, this Mio Mio Le Bleu sucked. I did not like it. This is an abrasive floral citrus, has something clinical about it. Really a bit sharp and unpleasant. Wouldn't recommend it, but you know, go for it if you like sharp, citrusy scents, I suppose. I mean, whatever floats your boat. But for me, you know, if you watch my reviews and you have similar tastes to mine, I wouldn't bother with this one. It's not good. Also, it sits on the skin for a very short period of time. It does change, but not in a good way. And it doesn't work any better on clothes or on hair because I tried it that way as well. In general, just was disappointed with the scent. One of the worst ones I've smelled this year. So Mio Mio, you take the crown for your Le Bleu, the blue water. It is quite aquatic. It is floral. It's very citrusy, and it's a bit putrid in my personal view. So that's it for today. It was a bit of a rally. We covered a lot. Let me know what you finished this spring that was impressive or memorable to you. And if you finished any fragrances, what did you finish in terms of fragrances? That's it for today. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day and good luck. Bye.